Chapter 635. It's all in the past. Don't think about it anymore. Xianyun wanted to comfort Hu Chengfeng. You are a good girl. Hu Chengfeng's eyes turned back to Jianyun's face. His eyes became gentle. Actually, I have seen you a long time ago. Maybe I knew you earlier than Hu Liancheng. Xianyun frowned. There was doubt in her eyes. Don't you believe it? At that time, you should still be in high school. One spring, you went to Zeshu to participate in the bodybuilding competition. Hu Chengfeng said nostalgically. When Jianyun heard this, her eyes suddenly widened and she stared at Hu Chengfeng in disbelief. Because she had indeed participated in the bodybuilding competition when she was in her second year of high school. But it was only that one time. Because she did not study bodybuilding, that one time was just a temporary match to replace her injured classmate. Therefore, almost no one knew that she knew how to do gymnastics. So, did Hu Chengfeng really know her before Hu Liancheng? You remember? Hu Chengfeng looked at Jianyun's shocked face. His hoarse voice was filled with nostalgia that was hard to describe with words. Then you. Jianyun stared at Hu Chengfeng as if she was trying her best to recall, but her memory was too long, and she did not have any impression of him. You will not remember me. I was sitting in the audience. There were so many people. How could you see me? Hu Chengfeng's mouth twitched as if he was mocking himself. However, Jianyun had already pieced together a few pictures from a long time ago. Yes, she remembered. You? Are you sitting next to the judging panel? Jianyun asked probingly. In her mind, she recalled a young and handsome man. She had an impression of him because that man was too handsome, and his temperament was noble. Before she went on stage, she heard many girls from other teams chattering. So when she went on stage to perform, Jianyun specially looked over there a few more times. Yes. Hu Chengfeng smiled slightly. This smile actually carried a trace of relaxation and satisfaction. Jianyun could still remember it, which meant that she must have had a deep impression of him at that time. I remember you. Jianyun nodded. She looked at the man on the bed, who did not look good. What appeared in front of her was a glimpse of him in the past. Maybe Hu Chengfeng was sitting in the audience and there was not enough light there, so it covered his gloominess and only made people notice that he was as handsome as Hu Liancheng. Those who participated in the competition were all high school students. They were at the age of flowers and loved to fantasize. So after the competition, many people were asking who the handsome man was. Perhaps even Hu Chengfeng himself did not know how many girls he had been the lover in their dreams. If I pursued you at that time, would you promise me? Hu Chengfeng suddenly asked, with a gentle look on his face. Jianyun was stunned. She looked at Hu Chengfeng and did not know why he asked this. She did not think that Hu Chengfeng liked her. If I had pursued you earlier than Hu Liancheng, would you have agreed to my request? Hu Chengfeng did not seem to give up until he got the answer. Jianyun lowered her eyes as if she was thinking about it. After a while, she shook her head. No. Why? Because I can't compare to him? Hu Chengfeng was unhappy. Don't you know? When Hu Liancheng started chasing me, I didn't agree. Jianyun smiled. At this moment, the atmosphere became a little more relaxed. Perhaps it was because she felt that Hu Chengfeng had become much more normal today, and was no longer as fickle as before. Hu Chengfeng raised his eyebrows. In the past, I had a person I liked, but he betrayed me. You should know that. It was Jianyun paused. He and Lin Lanlin slept, so we broke up. But I haven't walked out for a long time. When I met Hu Liancheng again, it was my most difficult time. How could I be in the mood to fall in love? What happened after that? Hu Chengfeng asked curiously. Later, he saw me dancing at the club. He gave me money to save my mother and found me the best doctor. In exchange, I had to marry him. Then we got married. Jianyun shrugged. So you only fell in love with him after you married him? Hu Chengfeng's eyes flashed. Yes. Jianyun nodded. Hu Chengfeng did not continue to ask. The ward fell into silence again. After a long time, he asked, Do you know? Actually, I've always wanted to be his brother, my best brother. Jianyun raised her head and looked at Hu Chengfeng. She gradually understood Hu Chengfeng now. She felt that what he said did not seem like a lie. But from the beginning, he did not like me. I did not know what to do. In order to make everyone notice me, I desperately wanted to do the best. But I still could not compare to him. Slowly, I began to hate him. I wanted that brotherhood and also wanted to destroy him, because only by destroying him could I become the only one. Hu Chengfeng's words gradually died down. including what I did to King Cheng. I couldn't control myself. I liked her, but I couldn't tell what kind of love I liked. I also hated myself, so I wanted to kill myself countless times. Jian Yun suddenly felt some sympathy for Hu Chengfeng because she herself had once contracted depression, even if it was only a light one. At that time, she also had insomnia all night. Sometimes she would lie in bed and did not even have the courage to get up. The sky was gray, and she could not feel any hope. Compared to her, Hu Chengfeng had been suffering from mental problems since he was young because of family reasons, or because of the influence he received when he was in his mother's womb. After so many years, he must have been in pain. Although his illness could not be used as a reason for him to do bad things, it was also the source of today's tragedy. I hate the Hu family. I had a crazy idea for a long time. I want to destroy the Hu family. Hu Chengfeng changed the topic. At this moment, his eyes were also filled with a fierce look. Jian Yun looked at Hu Chengfeng's cold eyes, and her eyelids jumped. It's a big family business. It's just on the surface. The inside has long decayed. Those old fogies are all old fogies. They don't know how to spend their money, but they do all kinds of dirty things. Hu Chengfeng said excitedly. Do you also want to know why I have to destroy myself even though I can escape? I want to destroy myself. I am in too much pain. Living is torture to me. I have been taking a lot of medicine every day these years. If I don't take medicine, I will hallucinate. But even so, my condition is getting worse and worse. Even if I don't blow myself up, I won't live long. So I indulge myself in all kinds of ways. When Jian Yun heard this, she said in disagreement. Then you shouldn't collude with outsiders. It's fine if you destroy the Hu family. Why do you still want to disrupt the economy of the country? Isn't this treason? I can't hold back anymore. Hu Chengfeng sighed and said in a low voice, that man has medicine that can make me feel better. I know I shouldn't, but it was too painful when I got sick. Jian Yun's fingers tightened. That person, Hu Chengfeng mentioned that person. Wasn't this what Hu Liancheng and the others had been investigating? But that person was probably in a high position. After Hu Chengfeng's incident, he had erased all traces of his existence. However, Hu Chengfeng was just a chess piece, and had never come into contact with that man. Therefore, he couldn't say anything about the mastermind behind it. Who was the person who betrayed the country? That was why that person had always been free and at ease. Come here. Hu Chengfeng suddenly winked at Jian Yun. He could only blink like this now. Jian Yun hesitated for a moment, but still got up and moved closer to him. Do you want some water? Jian Yun thought Hu Chengfeng had something to do. I really like you. Unexpectedly, Hu Chengfeng confessed to Jian Yun. You look very good when you smile like the sun. You make people feel calm. I envy him. I envy him for getting you. That's why I wanted to destroy you guys later. Actually, I am not a bad person. I know. Except for the last time, you never really hurt me. Jian Yun nodded. This was what she was thinking. Even the last time, she did not rule out that Hu Chengfeng did such a crazy thing when he was ill. What a good girl. Hu Chengfeng looked at Jian Yun in a distant way, as if he was looking at someone else through her. After a while, he said, Thank you for forgiving me. Actually, after our competition, many girls asked about you. We all thought you were super handsome. Jian Yun smiled. Including you? Hu Chengfeng asked. Of course. Jian Yun nodded and answered seriously. Hu Chengfeng smiled from the bottom of his heart. Can I see the baby? Hu Chengfeng suddenly asked. Jian Yun did not hesitate. She stood up and walked to the door. She took Chu from Hu Liancheng's arms. Hu Lasheng obviously heard the conversation in the ward. He was staring at Jian Yun. Jian Yun pursed her lips and walked back. He is so cute. Hu Chengfeng stared at Chu greedily. He seemed to want to raise his hand but could not do such a thing. Jian Yun grabbed Chu's chubby hand and touched Hu Chengfeng's eyes. She said gently, Sha, this is uncle. She opened his big round eyes. He was still too young. He could not tell how terrifying the person on the bed was. Instead, he looked around curiously. His mother placed his hand on the person on the bed's eyes. He reached out his other hand to grab the gauze on Hu Chengfeng's face. Jian Yun quickly picked up Cho. It's okay. Hu Chengfeng smiled. He was especially gentle today. In this life, I will never have a chance to have my own child. What a pity. Hu Chengfeng sighed. Jian Yun did not know what to say. She could only look down and hide the pity in her eyes. In this life, I have done too many wrong things and hurt too many people who love me. My life is so painful. If there is a next life, I do not wish for me to be a human again. Be a cat. I have always admired the life of a cat. Hu Chengfeng's voice gradually became softer, and there was a trace of reluctance in his eyes. Xu seemed to agree with Hu Chengfeng's words. He waved his arms happily. Hu Chengfeng smiled. I have a gift for him. It was prepared very early. I put it in the storage box, number 1018, downstairs of the money exchange building. The password is 30,947. You can go and get it when you have time. Jianyun was stunned for a moment before she realized what was going on. She quickly thanked him. Thank you, Uncle Che. She seemed to understand. He opened his toothless mouth and smiled at Hu Chengfeng. Thank you for coming to see me. Let them in. Hu Chengfeng closed his eyes after saying that. He seemed very tired. He opened his eyes and looked at Jianyun. He smiled sadly. Goodbye. Jianyun's nose suddenly felt sore. She held Chu and quickly lowered her head. She could not say a word. She turned and ran out quickly. As soon as Jianyun came out, old Master Hu, Shen Fangqi, and the rest entered the ward again. Granny Liao was not there and seemed to have left. Hu Liaosheng and Cheng Muze smoked at the window. Seeing Jianyun come out, Hu Liancheng quickly extinguished the cigarette he had just smoked. He picked up the mineral water and rinsed his mouth. Only then did he come over to hug Jianyun and said softly, Duo you go back first. Jianyun could see that Hu Liancheng was very tired. Previously, he had dismissed her and wanted her to go to Green Lake. Perhaps it was to deal with the matters here, so she did not object and only nodded. Okay, I will send you back. Cheng Muz also put out his cigarette, rinsed his mouth, and threw the bottle of water. Call me when you get home. Hu Liancheng kissed Jianyun. Jianyun came out of the hospital and found that it was already dark. She did not know when it started to rain. There was a hint of humidity in the air. Under the dim light of the street lamps, the rain fell along the lines. It was inexplicably sad. Cheng Muz, why are there so many people tonight? Jianyun asked. Although she had already guessed it in her heart, Jianyun could not believe it. They came to send him off. Cheng Muz also put away his usual mischievous smile and said quietly. Jianyun lowered her eyes and did not say anything. Although Hu Chengfeng had done a lot of bad things, he was still alive. The death of life always made people feel helpless and sad, because it meant that he would disappear from the world forever. From now on, there would not be this person in the world anymore. She ate the milk and fell asleep in Jianyun's arms. Jianyun kept thinking about all kinds of things and felt a little stifled in her heart. Cheng Muz stopped the car to wait for the red light. He looked at the time and asked Jianyun, Sister Jian, are you hungry? Do you want to find a place to eat something first? No need. I ate some on the plane. I'm not hungry now. Jianyun thought about it and suddenly asked Cheng Muz, is this far from the money exchange building? Not close. What's wrong? Cheng Muz drove the car out and asked. Hu Chengfeng said he had something for Shay. He asked me to get it. Jianyun looked at the time. It was almost 8 o'clock. She frowned and said, maybe we can go tomorrow. Let's go now. Cheng Muz turned on the navigation and started to drive towards the money building. Jianyun learned from Cheng Muz that the building was located in the center of the largest business center in the capital. It was where the famous bank was located. Cheng Muz did not let Jianyun go. He was still worried that Hu Chengfeng would do something bad, so he personally went to get a small password box. He opened it from a distance. Jianyun stood 10 meters away and looked over. What is it? There is a notebook and a pen. Cheng Muz picked up the hard leather notebook. Before he could flip through it, he saw a model of a transformer next to him. He could not help but raise his eyebrows. What the hell is Hu Chengfeng doing? Giving a transformer to Chu? And this notebook? A pen or something. Does he want Chu to record the experience of playing Transformer? Pen? Jianyun saw that there were no dangerous items, so she walked over with Che in her arms. She frowned when she saw it. This is a recording pen. Cheng Muz also noticed at this time. He and Jianyun looked at each other and quickly put away these things. They put them in the box and quickly got into the car. The two of them did not stay here and quickly drove away. They only took out the box when they returned to the villa. Jianyun opened the notebook and immediately saw the dense transaction records. This is... Before Jianyun could say anything, Cheng Muz opened the recording pen and a voice came out. It was the recording of Hu Chengfeng and the others' phone calls. The content of the recording was horrifying. It was that person. the person behind Hu Chengfeng, who had colluded with the enemy and betrayed the country and leaked important military secrets of the country. Xianyun and Cheng Mu's hearts jumped. With this evidence, they could find out who that person was. This was a big case that the higher-ups had been investigating. Hu Chengfeng actually left such a thing behind. But why didn't he say anything until now? Did he want to use this to save his life, or did he have other intentions? Stop guessing, Wang Yao said. This guy has been very careful since he was young. The two of them are so unpredictable. Cheng Mu shook his head and sighed. Do you want to tell Lian Cheng now? Xianyun knew that Hu Liancheng had been assisting the higher-ups in investigating the mastermind. However, because of the man's high position, he had hidden it well. He had found many threads that were abandoned by him. However, in this recording pen, there was a record of the man's most direct subordinate talking to Hu Chengfeng. This matter was too important, and Cheng Mu didn't dare to hide it. He immediately called Hu Liancheng. When Xianyun heard someone sobbing on the other side of the phone, her heart was immediately lifted. When Hu Liancheng heard this news, he was also very surprised. He told Cheng Mu to guard Xianyun and her son, and not take a step away. He began to order a large number of people to guard the surroundings of the villa. At the same time, he did not dare to delay any further and hurried back. Half an hour later, Hu Liancheng arrived at the villa. He only had time to look at the contents of the notebook and put away the things. He only said that he had to take them away immediately. Xianyun naturally had no objections. When she saw that Hu Liancheng was about to leave, she picked up the toy of the transformer and prepared to put it away. But in the blink of an eye, she found that there was something wrong with the eyes of the transformer under the light. Liancheng, wait. Xianyun hurriedly called out to Hu Liancheng. When Hu Liancheng heard Xianyun's words, he also noticed that there was something wrong with the eyes of the transformer. He did not have time to waste, so he took the toy with him. That night, Xianyun only felt her heart beating wildly. The next morning, there was news that Hu Chengfeng was dead. It was the intravenous injection of medicine, euthanasia. Xianyun felt inexplicably uncomfortable in her heart. She knew that death was a kind of relief to Hu Chengfeng. Or it could be said that Hu Chengfeng had done so many bad things. It was nothing more than losing hope for life. Life was too painful, so he should have wanted to die a long time ago. However, no matter how hateful Hu Chengfeng was, Xianyun's heart was still stifled. In her opinion, it was a life after all. In the few days after Hu Chengfeng's death, Xianyun did not see Hu Liancheng. He called back and said that he would be very busy these few days. Xianyun knew what he was busy with, so all he could do was keep his worries to himself. 3 days later, all the news pages were reporting the biggest case of treason and corruption in the history of the country. The mastermind behind Hu Chengfeng was finally arrested. The recording and video were exposed at the same time. The evidence was conclusive. That person had fled abroad overnight, but was intercepted when the plane landed. The trial was about to begin in a few days. Hu Chengfeng's funeral was held a week later. Due to his special identity, Hu Chengfeng kept a low profile from cremation to burial. Only very few people attended. Xianyun went to the cemetery to see Hu Chengfeng off. Standing in the Hu family cemetery, Xianyun looked at the small urn being buried. At this moment, she felt that the world had quietened down. Other than the sound of rain falling, there was no other sound. No matter how much evil she had done in her life, after her death, she would return to dust and dirt. Everything that happened after her death would disappear. Hu Chengfeng's father stood beside the tombstone for a long time. Looking at the portrait on the tombstone, his eyes were empty. Old Master Hu had aged a lot. In almost a short period of time, he had become very old. His hands that were leaning on the crutches were trembling. Shen Fanqi, who loved her son as if she was alive, did not come today. Xianyun suddenly felt her head darken. She looked up and saw Hu Liancheng, who had appeared out of nowhere, standing beside her with an umbrella in his hand. It was only at this moment that Xianyun realized that it was raining. Why don't you open an umbrella? Hu Liancheng took out a handkerchief and wiped the water droplets on Xianyun's hair and face. He frowned and sounded a little reproachful, but his tone was full of love. Xianyun grabbed Hu Liancheng's hand and looked up at the black shadow in front of her. I thought you wouldn't come. Hu Liancheng wrapped his arm around Xianyun's slim waist and did not say anything. He only looked at the workers building the grave. After a moment, he bowed to the tombstone. No matter how Hu Chengfeng fought with him when he was alive, they were still brothers. How could he not come to see Hu Chengfeng for the last time? However, these words only flashed across Hu Liancheng's mind. He did not say it out loud. After exiting the cemetery, Jian Yun got into the car and trembled violently. She sneezed several times in succession. Why are you getting more and more stupid? You don't even know when it's raining. Hu Liancheng turned the warm wind on and took out a large towel to wipe the water off Jian Yun's hair. Jian Yun pinched her nose and gave Hu Liancheng a sideways glance. Do you want me to drive? She saw that Hu Liancheng was very tired and wanted him to rest for a while. No need. I can still hold on. Hu Liancheng started the car. He suddenly reached out and grabbed Jian Yun's head. He kissed her hard. Let's go home. Time continued to pass slowly. In the blink of an eye, half a year had passed. Jian Yun's school was on fire. When the new semester started, they moved to a new school address. Monica also began to discuss with Jian Yun to set up a branch in the capital. Jian Yun studied under Professor Yu's system and also started to participate in competitions to accumulate experience. Gradually, she became famous in this field. Now it was already December. The beginning of next month was Chu's first birthday. As Hu Liancheng's son, naturally, this zoo ceremony had to be properly organized. Jian Yun started to prepare a month ago. Hu Liancheng was busy with work, but no matter how busy he would go home every day. His and Jian Yun's relationship was as good as honey mishing oil. The two people who had experienced losing each other cherished each other very much. It was New Year's Day in a few days, and around a week after New Year's Day was Chu's first birthday. Jian Yun had been so busy these days that her feet did not touch the ground. At noon, she had just returned home from class when she received a call from Hu Liancheng. Have you eaten? Wait for me at home in the afternoon. We'll go and buy a birthday present for Chi tonight. Jian Yun went abroad to watch the piano competition a few days ago and only came back last night. However, Hu Liancheng went on a business trip yesterday, and the two of them did not meet. He did not see Jian Yun for a few days and could not think of anything. That was why he quickly called Jian Yun to arrange a meeting. It was not good for his wife to be too busy. It made him feel like he was waiting for his concubine every day. If he did not see her every day, he would feel uneasy. Okay. Jian Yun had just agreed and wanted to flirt with Hu Liancheng again. Suddenly, she felt the world spinning around her. Then her vision turned black and she lost consciousness. Hu Liancheng could not hear her and thought that Jian Yun had something to do. Just as he was about to hang up the phone and call again, he heard a series of panicked voices coming from the phone. Madam, what's wrong with you? Hu Liancheng's heart immediately lifted. He almost shouted, Who's here? What's going on? Someone picked up his phone and said in a panic, Madam fainted. Hu Liancheng almost went crazy when he heard that. Half an hour later, in Imperial Hospital, Hu Liancheng ran all the way to the ward, the butler told him on the phone. At first glance, he saw Jian Yun lying on the snow-white bed. Her face was as white as paper.